So this is the solution for the problem subsets 2. It's labeled medium, but it's actually really easy. And it only relies on one simple observation. There are a couple of things that you need to keep in mind once we implement it, but the solution itself, very simple. Let's take a look at an example where we have nums of 1, 2. This is the array given to us, and we want to find the all possible subsets, which is the power set, not containing any duplicate subsets. Cool. Now, how do we go about it? First, let's create an empty list. This is the also called as phi mathematical notation. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the original list, whatever we had, you're going to make a copy of it, and you're going to add the current number in account to it. So in this case, we had an empty list. Now you'll keep the empty list as is, you're not disturbing that, but you're going to make a copy of it and add the new element to it. So the first element is 1 in this case, and so we'll have one copy of the original init 1, and then we'll add 1 to this. Now what happens when 2 comes along? Now the initial lists are empty and 1. In this case, we're going to have empty and 1 as is, as you can see here, but we'll append 2 to this copy. So this guy gets append 2 and this guy gets an appendation of 2. In total, this is all of the 4 that are generated. To summarize quickly, we have an empty list here. We'll make a copy of this empty list and add the new element to it. So empty list plus addition of new element. Now once we have both of these as the lists, we're going to make a copy of them and add the new element to it. So this guy gets 2 added and this guy gets 2 added again. We can do this on and on, and that is the entire solution. Yeah, so let's actually code this up. We'll have an answer and we'll call it list, and we'll iterate over num in nums. And what do we want to check? What do we want to actually consider? Actually, I'll do this to be clear. We're starting with an empty list. Empty list containing an empty list, basically. Now, for each of these elements, for item and answer, for each of these, whatever we had, we're going to take the new element and add it to it. So we're going to take item and then we're going to add the num to it. And let's just create a new list for it, a temporary list where we can append these. And at the end, we'll say for item in temp, now go ahead and append this into answer. I'm not doing it in one single loop, even though it looks like it could be done, because you're going to add this to itself. So the list which you are iterating over should not be the one which you are also editing at the same time. This is not a good programming practice in general. Anyways, we can return the answer over here. There's a small catch. It says that the solution set must not contain duplicate subsets. So let's actually make this, instead of a list, a set. And only syntax needs to be changed here. So we'll just do ans.add temp. There's one more thing that we need to know. See, the thing is, the set of two lists like 1, 2 and 2, 1. So something like this won't actually give you 1, 2 as the result. It will actually give you 1, 2 and 2, 1 because both of them are treated separately. But we know that mathematically they are going to be the same. We're actually not seeing them as lists, but as sets instead. So we have to do one simple thing. We'll say nums.sort. This way they will always be in order, and 2, 1 would never come up. It would always be 1, 2 again. And in that case, we know that 1, 1, 2 and 1, 2 will just be 1, 2. Cool. We are almost done, but there is another small issue. See, these are what we're implementing or doing here is we are adding lists to sets. That's not actually allowed. We have to convert it into a tuple first. So we'll add tuple of, oh, actually this is a big issue. Yeah, it should be tuple of item here, which you're going to append it. Okay, we'll also do this here. And I think this should do it. Let's do a sanity check. Oh, by the way, we are also going to return list here because answer is actually a set right now. Can only concatenate. Right. Yeah, this is already a tuple, so we'll first have to convert it to a list. See, I explained it to you like they are lists, but we're actually going to store them as tuples. So first we'll have to reconvert them to a list because tuples are immutable. You convert it into a list, add the new element, and then reconvert it to a tuple to store it in the set. Feel free to rewind it and watch it again. It looks like there are a lot of tiny bits of what is going on where, but it's a very, very simple problem and it should make sense. Okay, I just did submit and accepted. Cool. So if you found it helpful, leave a comment below saying that you found it helpful. A simple like would do as well. Anyways, if you have more questions that you want me to solve, I'm always listening. Be sure to drop them out in the comment section below. That's it. Thanks.